Welcome to Learn English by Reading. Today's story is about two very different creatures, a tiny ant and a gentle dove, who show us how a simple act of kindness can change everything. Let's begin. It was a hot summer afternoon. The sun shone brightly in the sky, and the air was still. The ground was dry and cracked, and not a single cloud floated above. Trees stood silent, their leaves drooping from the heat. Even the birds had stopped singing. Underneath a large rock near a tree, a small ant came crawling out from the shade. Her name was Anya. Anya was a hard-working ant. Every day she searched for food and water for her colony. Today, however, she was very thirsty. She had been walking for a long time, but she could not find even a drop of water. Her tiny legs moved slowly over the dry earth. She passed fallen twigs, pebbles, and blades of grass, all dry and brittle. Her mouth felt parched. Her body ached. "I must find water," she said to herself. "If I don't drink soon, I won't have the strength to return home." She continued her journey with hope in her heart. Finally, after what felt like hours, she heard something, a faint, trickling sound. It was the sound of flowing water. Anya followed the sound and soon arrived at a small spring. The spring flowed gently, surrounded by tall grass and mossy stones. Clear water sparkled in the sunlight. But there was a problem. The spring was below the ground level where she stood. To reach it, she needed to climb a tall blade of grass that leaned out over the water. The grass was wet and slippery, but it was the only way to get close enough to drink. "I have to try," Anya whispered. She carefully placed her tiny feet on the blade of grass and began to climb. Step by step she went up, slowly, carefully, with all the strength she had left. The grass bent under her weight, swaying with every breeze. Still, she didn't give up. Just as she reached the middle of the blade, her foot slipped. She lost her grip, and in an instant Anya fell. Down, down she tumbled, straight into the water. The cold water surrounded her. She struggled to breathe. She kicked her legs and waved her arms, but the water was too strong. It pulled her this way and that. She gasped and splashed. "I can't swim! I can't swim!" she cried, panicking. Every second felt like a lifetime. She was drowning, but someone was watching. High up in a nearby tree sat a dove named Dara. Dara was resting on a branch, enjoying the cool shade. She had seen the little ant walking below, climbing the grass, and now she saw her fall into the spring. Her heart filled with concern. "That poor ant," she said. "She needs help." Without wasting a second, Dara looked around. She saw a large leaf resting on the branch beside her. With her beak, she gently picked it up. Then, using her strong wings, she flew toward the water. Hovering above the spring, she dropped the leaf near the struggling ant. The leaf floated gently down and landed right next to Anya. Anya saw the leaf and with her last bit of strength swam toward it. She grabbed the edge with her tiny feet and pulled herself up. Dripping wet and gasping for air, Anya lay on the leaf. The leaf floated slowly across the water, carrying her like a boat. Finally, it reached the edge of the spring. Anya crawled onto the dry ground. She was safe. She sat for a moment, catching her breath. She looked up at the dove who was now watching her from the tree. "Thank you," Anya said, tears in her eyes. "You saved my life. I will never forget your kindness." Dara nodded gently. "Sometimes we all need a little help," she replied. The two smiled at each other, and the moment passed quietly. A few hours later, the sun had begun to set. The air was cooler now. The trees swayed gently in the breeze. Anya had rested and was now preparing to return home. But before she could leave, she noticed something. Not far away, a man was hiding behind a bush. He wore a large hat, and in his hand he held a net. He moved slowly and carefully, trying not to make a sound. Anya turned her head and saw what he was watching. It was Dara. The dove had flown down to the ground and was walking near the edge of the spring. She was pecking at small seeds scattered near the roots of a tree. Anya's heart stopped. "She doesn't know," she whispered. "She doesn't know the hunter is there." The hunter raised his net, ready to throw it. Anya had no time to waste. She ran across the grass, dodging pebbles and twigs. She raced toward the man's foot. When she got close enough, she opened her jaws and bit down hard on his heel. "Ah!" the man shouted, startled by the sudden pain. He dropped the net and jumped back. Hearing the noise, Dara looked up and saw the danger. She flapped her wings and flew into the sky just in time. She soared upward, away from the hunter, and landed safely on a high branch. She was safe again. The hunter looked around in confusion. "What bit me?" he said angrily, but Anya had already disappeared into the grass. From the tree, Dara looked down and saw the tiny ant waving at her from below. She smiled warmly. "You saved me," she said. "And you saved me first," Anya replied. They had helped each other. Two very different creatures, one small and crawling, one with wings that soared, had each saved the other's life. That evening, as the sun set behind the hills and painted the sky with orange and gold, Dara flew above the trees, her wings strong and free. She felt grateful, not just for her life, but for the little friend who had been so brave. And Anya returned to her colony, tired but happy. She had found water, escaped danger, and discovered the true meaning of kindness. She would always remember that day, not just because she had nearly drowned, but because someone had cared enough to help her. And she, in return, had done the same. Moral of the story: one good turn deserves another. When we help others with a kind heart, that kindness often comes back to us in ways we never expect. Thank you for watching Learn English by Reading. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We bring you simple yet powerful stories to improve your English while learning timeless lessons. See you in the next video.